Welcome to the U.K.E-Liquid Mixing Show. It is a Wednesday night and it's time to talk a little bit of mixing and a little bit of general chat. Fresh from Little Man, theme man of the Vape Show with Little Bro Vapes and that. So thank you very much for having me over there. And I'm back here now. So welcome. If you are in chat, just have a look at the top. And if you're in Twat chat, turn it over to live chat and you'll keep up with everything we are doing. So you've got myself, Benny Vapes. We've got the one and only Bill, the chair. We've got our own mixing guru, which is Graham Net Reality.
Hey.
We've got our own mixing detective, which is Liam Sherlock Holmes.
Hello.
And we've got the mixing maestro himself, which is Tim Advocate for Liberty. So welcome everybody and welcome in chat. So Bill got it straight away what the title of the show was. It is Dolly the Clone Sheep. So we are talking about clones, so if you have got anything in chat that you want to talk about, if you ever tried to clone a recipe and you were a bit stuck, or, you know, you've tried a clone recipe that you'd recommend, drop it in chat and we'll have a little talk about that. And we just want to see if it's ethical to do a clone. You know, do we think it's right that you should be doing a clone recipe? Do we not think it's right to be doing a clone recipe? What do you think out there? So we will go around, we will get Liam to do the chat first before it gets any busier.
Okay, in chat tonight we have the Vaping Snowman, I Up Me Duck, John Vaping Joke.
Oh, I ain't that joke.
Kev WXM, Stuart Dill, Lady Liberty, Mike Haynes, Tony Laura, Rocky Tooney, Swamp Thing, Take Me to the Sea, and I believe that is everybody.
You've been waiting all week for that.
I'm in Twat chat. Now I'm in live chat.
Oh, there you go. I do tell people.
Paul
We
B.
got
Welcome
Paul
to the
B.
show. Yeah.
And even though I was actually in Twat chat, I still didn't miss anybody.
Yeah, I was going to say, pretty much.
I'm Bob Cattrall.
Yep. I've got two things. One is we don't really need any help with cloning sheep, you know. And the second is I was wondering if anybody in chat might have a nice, say, waffle honey type recipe by any chance. You know, maybe say milk and honey and waffles. Do you think anybody out there would? Because Rocky Tooney put one out, you know, earlier. So.
I see. So yeah, as I say, I just thought it was something different to talk about. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking of what can we talk about, and I thought we got let down on what we was going to be talking about. So I thought, clones.
Define clones, though, before we
go
further.
Tim's gone. I just got a lip reading of a. I thought we were doing a Chinese film. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. On a silent movie. Wait for title.
Celebrating him being gone, though, by having balloons.
Yeah, what's the balloon stand for? Benny, what's the balloon stand for?
I have no idea, mate.
Okay, good. Then you don't know.
His birthday.
Oh,
That's right.
Is it
Friday.
Friday? This Friday or last Friday?
This coming Friday.
Oh, well, happy birthday for Friday.
You're older than I am because mine's not until the 21st.
Yeah, so I'm going to be 21 before you.
Yeah.
And then next time when you have yours, then I'll be waiting for my birthday, so I'll be younger than you.
Yeah.
Rocky says it has nuts in it, too.
Oh, it has nuts, a little bit of sprinkle of nuts.
Rocky's waffles are nuts.
Oh, take me to the sea. I have bananas, fossil, waffle, can't say. Waffle recipe. You want that? Yeah, recipe. Drop it in, mate. We're going to get Take Me to the Sea. We'll talk about him. Apparently, he's a really good mixer. So, because that was who was in on Sunday night, wasn't it, in the chat on NUVS? So I said we'd get him on. We'll have a chat. I don't know how to contact, but if you contact either Graham or Tim or Liam on Facebook, if you're on there, and they can sort it out, or even Bill. Whichever you want. Even Bill?
Yeah, if you can find me. No, what I was saying earlier, that before Tim took flight, was a clone is not necessarily going on ELR, finding somebody's recipe, and then making it.
No.
You know, that's not a clone. Just in case anybody thinks that means
yeah.
cloning it. Cloning is when somebody like has a commercial recipe and they come to you and they say, "Can you make something that tastes like this?" And then you try to clone that recipe.
Yes, yes, yeah. That's what we're talking about. And we could throw that in as well about companies stealing recipes as well. Do you know what I mean? Because I do find that a little bit of, and there's only so much you can do, but we'll talk about that as we go along. What
Dodgy,
we'll do though,
I think.
yeah, dodgy, very dodgy. What we'll do is we'll go around and see what our vape machines are. We will start with Graham.
Oh, okay. I'm on the Ultra Nagaya, which I've just over dripped, and it's all going down the side with the barrage on top. And in that, I've got some of my fudge. I'm vaping on quite a lot. I've got the speeder with the blank on top, and in that, I've got some of Nevin's blue. I've been waiting for this. I've got the Aegis Legend with the creme hild on top, and I made this juice yesterday, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's called Farts. It's a melody of raspberries. I was amusing myself. And I've got the Lasotic with the guillotine on top, and in that I've got, I think, the final version of the one I'm going to release as a short fill. I think it's the final version, but I just got a new cream, so. And I'll pass it on to Liam.
I am on the V-Stick in 530 with the Profile 1.5 on top. And in that, I am vaping on some Crumbling Lime, which is the lime ice cream topped with crumble. That I think it was Mike Haynes actually requested 2 or 3 shows ago. I've been vaping on that. It's actually quite nice. I think it needs a little bit more ice cream though, so I might have to play around with it a little bit more. I've also got the Vupu X217 with the Steam Crave Aromizer on top, the V2 version of the RTA. And in that, I am vaping on some Wild Cream, which is a wild berry cream. And I will pass it over to Bill.
Well, thank you, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Holmes, excuse me. The chair recognizes Mr. Holmes. I'm on 3 arbiters. Geek Vape with the bestest. In that, I have Ban Van Cust. I am on the Evil Dildo. And in that, I have got Vanilla something. And last but not least, I'm on the Gur. And in that, I have the mix that I had to make for the show a few times back. Basically is tasting scrumptious. So I have technically now mixed another 200 mil of it. That's how good I like it. I did make 2 minor adjustments, but they were both in the same recipe. I dropped the melty caramel out, which was one of the things I was supposed to put in because it really wasn't doing anything for it. And I dropped the nuts. My nuts dropped.
You dropped it.
Totally. And I haven't tried that one yet because it's going to take a little bit of steep time. And basically, what are these arbiters you speak of? Yes, Tim. And some call me Tim. And I will pass it. Speaking of which, the chair recognizes Tim.
So I'm on the Aegis Legend with the custom Aegis skin with the Pyro V3 on top. And that I'm testing out Swaggy's custard in my blackberry custard recipe, which is delicious. The original is for sure. And this one's going to be good. And I got the Gruss with the Goon on top with my plum tobacco brandy in it. I can't believe I'm actually still enjoying that every now and then. That was a surprise. I got to give you guys credit for that.
See.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have a little bit of a surprise every now and again.
And I'll pass it to make sure the chair recognizes him. But if the chair will recognize him, I'll pass it to Benny Vapes.
Yeah, the chair recognizes Benny.
Thank you very much, the chair. So I'm on the Aegis Max with the Fat Rabbit, and it did actually leak today, Bill.
Oh yes.
It did, and I re-wicked it last night, and I know what I did. I thinned the cotton out too much. So yeah, it did actually leak. Turned it on its side, and then suddenly, fucking all this fucking juice down me. I'm like, you bastard.
It's
went
not
to-
perfect. It
No,
will-
no.
yes.
It comes out of the top. It comes out of the top airflow. That's where it seemed to leak from more than the bottom, for some bizarre reason.
I don't know. By the time I'd see mine, there's just a puddle at the bottom of it. I couldn't tell where it came from.
Yeah, it's because you haven't put enough wick in it. That's what it is. It's 100% you haven't put enough wick in it. So I'm on that, and I'm also on. And inside that, I've got Graham's favourite juice.
Oh, that. I think I've still got the bottle back in.
I like it. I actually do like it. It's just it's supposed to be a donut. It's a vanilla custard donut. That's what I'm assuming it says. But it tastes. It's got like a coconut taste to it. So I'm assuming that it might have some inner custard in it or something like that. It's got a coconut. It's definitely got a coconut taste to it.
Possibly TFA cheesecake grain crust.
Maybe
Try
so.
and thicken that coconut, the custard up.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. But like you say, it has got like a coconut taste. But I don't mind it. I don't know what's your problem, Graham. It's very sweet.
I think I actually vape quite a lot of it. It was it's very sweet and it's very kind of upfront.
Yes.
It's really kind of jammy. It's probably love flavors they've used.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm also on the Abbott Solo, with some my last bit, and it didn't turn out too bad. Just some RY4 with some extra vanilla in it. Vanilla extra cream thing over all night. It's not turned out too bad, that, to be honest with you. So I'm probably not going to buy RY4 anymore. I'm just going to do that. So it doesn't taste that bad. Scuba's in. Welcome. It doesn't recognise me at all. It's because I haven't got a beard. I've shaved my beard off and let my hair grow a little bit longer.
Getting ready for those wigs.
Yeah.
Anthony Duck, day 3, 4, and 5. What you got to do is put liquid back in it. If you do that,
once it all leaks out, it will dry head.
That'll dry it once it's not moved.
Yeah, it is a fine line between how much wick you put in it and how much you don't. Like I say, I thinned it out a little bit too much on this one, and like I say, it pissed juice out.
Well, too much and it'll leak. Also,
put too much.
Too little, too little and it leaks, and too much and the juice can't get down there. It's got to go somewhere so it comes out.
The same problem with the Profile Unity has that same issue. You got to get the wicking just right, or it'll either leak through, or like you said, it won't leak, and then when it does, it just like floods. It'll just go fine. It'll like dry hit, and then flood.
Yeah. So it is a fine line when you're doing it of how much cotton you put in. Like say, if you just over just right and it dry, it's like a motherfucker. It's strange how it does, but yeah, no, it's all right. Swamp Thing says I always taste coconut in donut vapes. So it's obviously something, but yeah, it's like a donut. It's like a coconutty taste. It's like like a decadent coconut. Do you know, chopped, crumbled over the top? Just a bit like that.
See, I don't get coconut taste out of Innerware custard. If I did, I would not like it. Innerware custard's probably, it's right up there as one of my favorite custards, but I don't like coconut at all. But I think you're talking more the feel, because I do get a bakery kind of feel sometimes out of Innerware custard,
Yeah, that might, like I say, that might be why they do it. Maybe they've got a bit of, it's definitely got a donut in it. It might be some of that flavour art Joker, is it? Because I got that similar sort of taste from that.
Wow.
Is it wow, is it?
Yeah, but that hasn't got, wow, has a powdered sugar on top. This hasn't. This is quite doughy.
Yeah. It could just be an old school glazed donut.
They've probably got their own custom flavors because they've been doing this for a while, haven't they?
Well, yeah, because it were not Dinky Donuts. That's their version of it. They did the DK donut or whatever it is, isn't it? Is it DK donuts they've done?
I thought it was the Donut King.
Donut King, yeah, DK Donut King.
I was like DK Donuts.
DK Donut King, yeah. And he sold the recipe, didn't he, and bought it back again. So yeah, it is. It could, like I say, it could be just an old school that is using, TFA glazed donut.
It could
Could
be.
be that, just pushed up quite high with a newer custard to it, like say with either Innerware or something like that. That's giving it that sort of taste to it. Gives it a bit more, like say, the dessert
I've
sort
got
of
the
taste.
raspberry one.
No, that was vanilla. It's just vanilla custard.
No,
I didn't try the raspberry.
I think I have got the vanilla custard.
Remember
Rhubarb.
the rhubarb I made last?
Rhubarb, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Have you tried it? What are you thinking?
Trying it again now. I vaped it a week ago, and it's
Oh, that's right. You also have to have him try his Walmart recipe again.
You all right, mate? So,
I've vaped that much of it.
what's that? The raspberry one?
No, that's the vanilla one. The raspberry one, I've hardly vaped at all. I didn't like that. But that was kind of just a donut with custard in.
Yeah, it is. That's what it is. Yeah, 100%.
Is there a sour note to this? Should I be tasting a little sour in the rhubarb?
Maybe a little. The rhubarb should have a little bit of a sour to it.
Yeah. Rhubarb is sour.
All
Rhubarb.
right, then it must be steeping in now, because I can taste. When I was originally doing it, it was mostly all just sweet, but now I'm kind of getting a sour note to it to a degree too.
Yeah, that's why you have to put sugar on it when you're eating it raw,
Yep.
because it's
Unless you're a kid and you're just stubborn, you just grab a stalk and start on.
peel it. You got
don't
to peel
even
it first,
clean
though.
Yeah, you don't even have to clean it. You just eat it.
Yeah, you just peel the sides down. It peels nicer. It'll clean it for you.
Yeah.
Cut off both ends and peel down the sides are good.
If it's real dirty, you can just pee on it and wash it off. That's
Yeah.
Just
That,
wash
that
it in a
helps,
muddy puddle.
that helps with the throat sting, yeah. In case you get a sting in the back of your throat.
Yeah.
So yeah, has anybody tried clones out there? Has anybody tried to clone a recipe? Have you ever attempted to do one? Have you tried a cloned recipe off of ALR? Because like I say, there's loads of them. Absolutely. The first one I tried was, like everybody, someone was it, ALR was mother's milk. And there's a clone of mother's milk all the time. Do you know what I mean? There were loads up there when I started. There was another one for, is it Cutwood? That someone had done one where they'd actually found a recipe for someone that works there, and it were the true recipe. And you're like, is it though? Is it really? Is it?
Yeah, there's a couple of leaks, isn't there? Yeah, it's by Cutwood Spy, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
There's a few of them on there. Yeah.
Someone mentioned mother's milk earlier and said basically everybody has cloned mother's milk.
We've discussed it before, though. Sometimes you really couldn't truly clone it because sometimes they'll have special flavors made up in large batches for them. You can't truly.
So to get a true clone would be near enough impossible.
I reckon you could always make it a little bit better because you've got all the modern concentrates now, so you can really kind of hone it into what you want.
Right, but the other thing is there's sometimes just that subtle little 0.25% or whatever that changes the flavorings, and trying to hit those exact numbers sometimes just makes the difference on it.
Yeah,
I think the first one I tried was DIY or Die's Vaptasia custard.
All right, yeah.
But I have never had the original, but that
Killer
was
custard?
nice.
Just killer custard?
Yeah. And it's only 3 flavors.
Yep.
And he made sure they're all V2s to be compliant.
Yeah.
And it took 5 weeks to steam.
Yeah, like I say, I have tried them, and like I say, he did a while of them. Didn't he, clones? He used to take a clone. He used to do quite a few different clones. Did Wayne?
He did Jam Monster as well.
Yes.
Which, was supposed to be nearly spot on.
Yeah.
Have you ever made something and then after you made it, you thought, "Damn, that tastes just like
yep."
That you weren't trying to clone something, but you ended up making something that tasted like a clone?
Well,
Well,
Tom Lyford actually made a really nice clone of makes a nice clone of the Sad Boy Shamrock cookie, and he makes a really nice clone of it. This cookie's a little bit stronger, but other than that, everything else in it seems perfect. And honestly, with it getting harder to get stuff over here, some of the clones are not a bad idea.
Oh yeah.
Right now, technically, there's kind of almost a semi-clone situation going on now. Rescued E-Liquid went out, but they had this flavor called Benna's, a guava lemonade. Well, now Deep Cuts just came out with a guava lemonade that's very similar. Not exact, very similar. But it was because they're in the same group of people that usually buy the flavors anyway, and the same group of people, and they missed that flavor, so he filled that niche. So in that kind of way, it makes sense. I mean, if something's gone, a lot of people tried to use clone Yig. How many attempts has there been at that? When even Grim Green himself doesn't even know the real recipe for it.
Yeah. The thing with that, the first one I properly tried was Daz Cole's lemon tart, and he opened up
Swamp Thing. Yes.
Every lemon fucking tart. Every company then took that recipe and made their own lemon tart. Do you know what I mean? Because Dinner Lady had come out with it, and everybody, it was just shot off. It became this phenomenal thing. Did this Dinner Lady's lemon tart? Everybody were vaping it. It was sold bucket loads. It's still out there now. That's one of the best selling e-liquids in UK. And Daz Cole went out and made it and released his recipe, and everybody were like, fuck, this tastes virtually the same, if not better. And then suddenly you had companies, because if you go over Dark Side, you can pick it up on there as a one-shot. Not credited, but it does say open recipe on it. So it's Daz Cole's, you know what it is when it says open recipe. You know that the only one that it's going to be is Daz Cole's lemon tart. And it's not, other people have took it and put it up as their recipe. But then it opened it up to every other company bringing out a lemon tart flavour. So I'm just like, is it a good idea to clone it and put it on? Do you know what I mean? This is where I'm...
Custard as well is one of the most highly used.
What's that? Sorry?
Creed's custard.
Whose?
Creed's.
Oh, Creed's custard. Sorry. Right, yeah. Is that a thing? So when people... So really, that brings you on to releasing a recipe, doesn't it? And someone taking it and making it their own.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
Well, I know they tried to, didn't they, say copyright it for that it's copyrighted and all that lot, but,
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't actually copyright a recipe.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you wouldn't have everybody having the same type of bread. Yeah. For bakers and everybody having a sponge cake.
Yeah.
Because they're all the same recipe. You can't copyright a recipe. You can copyright a name, and you can copyright a process. But the actual recipe itself, you can't copyright, unfortunately.
You just don't make it public if you don't want somebody else.
That's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
And as far as the cloning of a recipe, actually taking somebody's, like this has happened a few times. Someone takes their recipe and literally either renames it or just calls it their own and saves it that way on ELR. That's, it's a little crappy. But if you're just trying to mix something that tastes like one of your favorite liquids or someone's favorite liquid, I don't see what there's an issue with that, especially considering it's not like 100% science. It's taste buds. You're playing around. It's like a challenge.
Yeah, I've done a couple. I've done a couple of clones, but I don't call them clones because they're not a clone. Yeah. I'm never going to be able to get that recipe exact, so it's not a clone. So I prefer to do a remix.
Yeah, I understand. I do a remix. Yeah,
I made an old glass blueberry cake. I'll put that in chat. It's actually good. They tried it this week on Wendy's show. They made it and tried it, and it's good, but it's not exactly the same. I like it a little bit better. I think that I like the blueberry in this a little bit better. But
yeah,
an ode to. I like the way when people name it ode to instead of actually a clone, because it's not really. The way it can be cloned is if it was actually stolen.
A similar is what you mean. A similar rather than a clone.
Yeah, that's another reason why I like the term remix, because you can actually improve on it. You think that's a really, really nice liquid, but the vanilla didn't pop as much as I wanted it to. So then you make it pop then in your recipe. So I've got Wandering Bunny on ELR is a remix of Wanderlust.
All right, yeah.
And yeah, cloning is really, really hard. Remixing is much easier.
Well, that's like Heisenberg, right? I
How many
mean,
times has that been remade?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's tried a crack at that.
And there's always a chance that there's a specialty flavor made by a specialty flavor house that you can't.
Oh
get.
Yeah.
So how can you clone that? It's not even possible.
Yeah, I think some of the bigger companies, now that they have got big, are probably getting flavors custom made for them. So there's no way that you'd be able to get hold of that unless you were to get hold of their bottle and actually have it analyzed.
Yes.
Yep.
For a couple of £1,000, and I think if you're going to do that and then sell it, that's naughty. That's exactly the same as just stealing somebody's recipe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, with the Heisenberg, I went back on the Wayback Machine because it was part of a outdoor festival where they entered it into a competition. So I found out what year that competition was, and then went to the Wayback Machine and went to Capella, TFA, and Flavor West and see what flavors they had there.
Yeah.
And the aniseed, they didn't have any aniseed back then as a flavor on those 3 flavor profiles. So I tried absinthe, and that was the missing thing.
Right. Like I say, it probably is because when flavour companies started out, the companies like Vampire Vape who brought Eisenberg out and that lot, we were in infancy of mixing e-liquids.
Yeah.
And there wasn't that many flavours about that we was using. Even bigger, because it wasn't that big that they could probably afford to buy a custom-made flavour.
Yeah.
So they were probably using whatever was about at that time. Do you know what I mean? So it's knowing what the flavour combinations was that they used that you're going to get near enough to what you're wanting it to be. But I don't know. It's a bit like you spent all that money developing your flavours and that lot, and then someone else takes it and releases it and then brings it out. Is it a homage to it? Are you happy with someone that if they've took your recipe and done it and brought their own recipe, their own e-liquids out and calls it Eisenberg or something? I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, it makes me wonder sometimes though whether the companies do actually care if a DIYer is cloning their e-liquid, because we are just a very, very small part of vaping, so I can't imagine that they're losing out on that much money.
No. In fact, you can actually make it better because someone says, oh, I really like this profile they've been mixing. And you pick up something like you just saw Graham have a bottle of something that he's vaping on. It might remind him of something he had. And then well, why bother making this? It's going to cost me a little less, but I just don't feel like it. I can just grab a bottle while I'm out.
Yeah. Tempted C says that, yep, the one Strawberry by Beard Vapes. It's been trying to remix it for 2 years. Can't truly do it, that one.
That's one thing. You can actually kind of give that to Liam and Zippy. They're the ones that talk me. And talk me into that Sugarloaf pineapple. And that actually is a really nice base for an upside down cake.
All right, yeah.
Pineapple upside down cake. That gives you that nice bakery note pineapple mixed in with your cake. It's perfect. So, and if you don't like coconut, just drop the coconut out of that and it'll be pretty much upside down cake.
How do you get it so that it tastes like the pineapple's on the bottom, though?
Yeah. You have to put the pineapple comes through after, like it's on the bottom.
No, when you mix it, you drop the pineapple in the bottle first. And you just don't shake it.
Yeah, you don't shake it.
Exactly. You don't shake it, and then you just
Yeah, but when you mix it,
and then you'll get cake and all of a sudden a little pineapple. Okay.
when you mix it, don't you have to put the pineapple on the top the way you do
Well,
when you
yeah,
make it?
yeah,
And
you
then
would,
When you
so
take
when
it
you
out,
put
you
it
turn
in
it
the-
over,
Yeah.
so that's where it gets to be. But so you have to like put all your other stuff in and the pineapple in last. That's important. And the pineapple upside down.
And you get a little bit of Bill's cherry. That way, there's good and baked.
Yeah. At least you'll like it no matter what it tastes like.
There you go. It'll always be good.
Pop juice. Welcome.
Have you got one of those old Getty Stream Decks?
No, I haven't. It's on my computer, mate. It's on my computer.
Nice.
It's a
finding it
soundboard.
for free.
I found the soundboard on Humble Bumble. That was a trial. I didn't have to pay for it. It's just a trial. So I've just added a couple on there.
I thought Jay had come back. I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So so merchandise is coming on. We have got one for the E-Liquid Mixing Show. Will be out soon. I've sent the things through to him, and there's ones out for Benny Vape. So just go check them out. Company MG. I need to put Set Nightbot up to put the link in to go over and have a look. But yeah. So what has anybody else in the chat? What have you done anything over there? Have you ever tried to clone a E-Liquid? Have you been close to it? Have you been far from it? Do you want to do something? I don't know. It's ethically, I don't know.
I haven't had enough juices to clone them, so
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never tasted anything that I would want to clone.
Right.
I mean, it would be like somebody might come to you and say, "Can you make this?" And you'd be like, "Well, you have to give me a bottle."
Well,
and
that's how the
taste it, see.
glass blueberry cake happened. Someone came
Yeah.
to me. They didn't know if they'd be able to get glass anymore because it's harder to get over here in the
Yeah.
States. So they're like, "Could you make something similar?"
Mhm.
So that's why I made an ode to. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very similar.
I know Jay tried to do that glass tobacco one that he tried for ages and ages to try and clone, wasn't it? He were buying all sorts to try.
butterscotch reserve, wasn't it?
But yeah, with licorice, it
Yeah.
had a licorice taste to it, didn't it?
Yeah, but me and Disco, we reckon there's a slight edge. He said there's a slight edge to it, so we missed the recipe for it. But we tried, I think it was holiday spice, and that
Right.
seemed to be what we were missing. But it wasn't the same. He
Yeah.
said it wasn't the same.
Yeah, because he said it had that licorice sort of taste to it, didn't it? So yeah, I don't know. Zipper says she's done one. I've done one clone. It's just like I say. I tried to do Yorkshire Vapors orange custard when I first thing, and I couldn't get the orange right. I could never get that orange. I worked out what custard was because it was Capella V1. Do you know what I mean? It was back in there with Capella V1, but I could never get that orange. It were orange, but it was sort of not a tangy orange, and it wanted juicy orange. It was just sort of a middle orange. Do you know where you just
Orange cream.
It could have been. It could very well have been. I don't know. It was just like a mid layer. It wasn't a top orange, and it wasn't. It was just like orange. Do you know what I'm saying?
One of the things you got to remember as well when you're trying to remix a commercial juice, especially, so you've gone out and you bought a short fill. That short fill might have actually been pre-steeped for 2 months before it was even sent out.
Yep.
And then it might have been sat in the shop then for another 2 months before you bought that bottle of juice.
And you figure it's made for that steep. It's made for a long steep because they know it's going to sit. So it's got to be made so it can steep.
Yeah, you don't know how much super sweet to put in. 6%, 8%.
Yes.
You're not sure.
Yeah.
So instead of mixing it up and trying it off a shake, sometimes you might have to leave it for 2 or 3 months.
Yes.
And then revisit just to see if it still tastes
and then
like
you
that
got
bottle that you
to your
bought.
adjustments or start over.
Yeah, because you might think, right, I've got this bang on now, and then in 2 months' time, it's where'd that flavor go?
That's why cloning is more of a challenge than it is. I mean, just to try and clone a liquid is a challenge. To try and get close, let alone even hit it on the head. I kind of like that.
It is a challenge. It is a challenge if you want to do it. You can be chasing around. You can, do it for years, try to find it, just to try and
never find it. It might be a specialty flavor you can't get, and you don't realize until you've exhausted all the
Yeah.
what is it? What were you chasing there for a flavor? What one was it, Bill, that you bought like every single one of? Was it the vanillas or what was it?
Strawberry.
Well, I
Bought a
was
load of
doing
strawberry.
vanillas
Strawberry.
quite a lot. I was doing the vanillas a lot. Yeah, I
Yeah.
bought a lot of different vanillas trying to find.
And you can
The
do that
vanilla
by
that-
all that, and it might not even be available for commercial use. I mean,
Well,
just-
what I eventually ended up finding was if I take a little bit of this vanilla and some of that one and put them together, I get the flavor I was looking for. So, and sometimes that's what it is it's not you're trying to find one flavor like this vanilla, but actually that's this vanilla and this vanilla together that makes that flavor.
or something else completely that's in there that changes the vanilla, and you're not even realizing it because you don't have that flavor in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strawberries do it. I mean, strawberries are definitely, if it's like, because there's so many different strawberries that you may taste a strawberry flavor, but it may be 3 different strawberries that are coming into it. And if you don't hit the right percentages and the right 3 of those strawberries, you may, the odds of you getting that exactly the way that is are slim.
Yeah.
But most commercial juices, from my understanding, and I'm not sure on this because I don't make commercial juice, but are not really real elaborate where you're going to have a lot of different flavors and a lot of different stuff because they're trying to make money on them. So they have to keep them fairly simple,
Yeah. See, a lot of them are like your DVs where it's a mix of flavours that they've bought from, Decadent and Vapor, where it's, a blackberry cream with something else in it, and you wouldn't even think about going there. Do you know, it's like that Just Jam strawberry. It's definitely Mum and Pop's sweet strawberry. But I've never used Mum and Pop's. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even know. It was just a random one that I bought, and I'm like, test it on back of my. I'm like, that's very similar to. So you can see if it might be an obscure company that you've never even thought about getting from.
There's some of them that are mixed flavors like that. It's not even the note you're looking for isn't even in the name, but it's in the flavor, like the pre-mixed flavor. That happens sometimes too. There's a lot of berries like that. A lot of berries that are mixed, and you're looking for this certain note of berry, and it's in that, but it's not even labeled in the label, so you can't even look it up like an ELR by the name of what you're looking for.
The things manufacturers will do, like Malaysian liquids, are really, really popular. So instead of looking at, say, TFA and Capella, you look at what would be easier for them to get hold of locally.
Yes.
Now, Rekka Flavors, Malaysian company.
Yeah.
So you could start looking at the Rekka Flavors. But the only problem with the Rekka Flavors is you can't actually buy them from Rekka direct unless you're buying them in large quantities.
Yes.
So then you have to try and find those flavors elsewhere, and they might very well have been renamed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or renamed and even rebranded. So then
They could
you're
have
chasing
been
your tail.
before
Bill
they-
brought this up last week, a flavoring that you guys have that's completely different name over here.
Yeah.
Condensed milk, wasn't it?
Yeah. Condensed milk is late here, LAIT. Yeah. And it's saluberone, and it's the same stuff. But here I can get it from DIY Flavor Supply as LAIT.
Yep.
And it's still saluberone. It's not any different,
Yeah,
But
but
they
then
changed
to be
the name, and
but
that
then-
makes it hard to. How do you know that? You look up one and you get a completely different flavor? Yeah.
and to be really sneaky as well, they could be using a combination of Rekka, which really hard to get hold of flavors for DIYers, and Capella and TFA. So you might identify the Capella and TFA and think, I know exactly how to do this juice, mix it up, and it's still missing a little something.
Do you think that flavor companies sometimes do things geographically because they know, like in the States, for instance, one of the, you go and look what's the best selling flavor here. Well, strawberry seems to be the most popular, but in Great Britain, maybe strawberry is not, maybe it's lemon or, And so the companies that are mixing stuff up are basically going geographically and saying, if you're going to put out this juice in the UK, you would mix it different than if you put out the same stuff in the US. Because
I've been wondering that myself, Bill.
Oh, I think a lot of the time what happens is you'll get a juice that gets really popular in a specific country. Take the States, for example. So you get bearded vape or somebody like that, a US company. They get really, really popular. And then you'll get UK companies will then start importing their liquid in to sell in the UK. So they're not necessarily releasing a juice for the UK market. It's just the UK market has seen how popular it is in the States and they want to try some. But then you'll have a company in the UK that will go, bearded vape's number 52 is a really nice vape. And that's selling well over here. We'll do our own version of that. And that's when you get the geographical splits.
Vapes is really good mix if you don't mind changing your coils every 2 days or less.
Yeah.
It's a coil killer.
Well, I remember watching Wayne saying that a new flavour had been released. He was saying, there's a new flavour being released from, I don't know, sort of like Flavour Art or something like that. He said, but you won't get it for 6 months. It's been released to flavour for mixing companies. So it might be a year before we get it. He says, but I know they've told me there's like 10 flavours being released, but it's not released for general market. It's only on the wholesale website, and it's only for...
It was like that, was it lemon cream wafer? That everybody said it was the flavour that the Lady Lemon Tart uses. And that came out, how long after...
Oh, the Cannovatic lemon wafer, that wasn't available for years.
Yeah. And then suddenly it's released. And then Salubra, SSA's got one as well now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like I say, Edward saying, John Holmes, that's what I was thinking is my issue. Need a Recco honeydew or a watermelon to get me my recipe closer. He's going for clone of Nasty Juice, Kilo, Dillinger, watermelon, honeydew with Kilo's signature cream and Nasty's cooling.
Yeah, so it's a typical Malaysian style juice. So yeah, you might very well find it is a Recco honeydew or watermelon, but to get a hold of that is going to be pretty difficult, if not impossible, unless you can find somebody that's rebottling and reselling Recco flavors.
Chefs are selling some Recco flavour off at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think that's got a watermelon
trying
in
to clone an
there.
amatorium because you have to pay an arm and a leg or maybe 2 legs to get it shipped over here. So.
And
he's saying she can get it as condensed, but when I try to find it here as condensed, I can't find anywhere that sells the damn condensed. It's like I said, the only thing I can get it as is late. Yeah.
Has anybody tried the Old Naked Fish Barracuda?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it must be. A watermelon juice, I'm thinking, or honeydew.
Yeah, it was Rocky, right?
No.
So I don't know. You have to tell us what the flavour was on that one. We might be able to look at it. But yeah, Nasty Juice. That you are looking at a Malaysian. There's that coldness in it. What was that what was that mango that we got that you said?
Sexy mango,
Sexy mango.
Yeah, I
recipe.
I was playing around with that when they first got released, and I had an unbelievable amount of attention on the LR for one of my recipes, Sexy or Mango, and there were people in there saying, "Oh, this is a clone. This tastes a lot like
mango.
Juice mango." One of the Nasty Juice mangoes, I think it was. Oh, this is a clone of this. I was literally just playing around with the flavors.
Yeah.
And then there's more comments. No, this isn't really close. I'm getting this off. No, I'm getting that. And I'm looking at the comments and I'm thinking, I didn't even set out to make a clone of something. I was just playing around with flavors and come up with something.
No, I'll probably have to set up a clone because I imagine within the next 6 months, I'm going to have Nick's going to be messaging me at some point. I can't get any more of the amatorium liquid. So can you try and make it?
Well, he should be able to get. He's just sent him a massive bottle out, hasn't he?
Yeah, that won't last long. The last one didn't.
So yeah, like I say, there's a few. We'll might have a look at that. If you do, you want a flavour looking at, we might have a look and put our heads together and see if we can sort of get somewhere. Might do a remixing show.
With the way things happen too, with like in the US, getting some of those ones you used to love that were easy to get aren't always easier. Some of those companies are gone. So cloning's your only option.
I like looking up the e-liquid profile sometimes and just using those as inspiration. I've would probably never have tried that juice. It's just the actual flavor profile itself sounds quite nice, so it gets used as inspiration for a mix. But I agree with what Swamp Thing says. You can usually get close to some juices, and that's enough. Yeah.
Sometimes you kind of like the difference.
Yeah,
like
right.
I like this Ode to Glass one. I prefer this one slightly, but that's not to say the original is not good.
Well, a lot of times you can just take a lot of the sweetness out of it, and that's
the other problem. I had to bump the sweetener because it's for someone who wants one.
Yeah,
I don't vape it with that much sweetener.
Yeah, I was thinking. It's totally off topic from what we're talking about here now, but I was thinking to myself, and I was wondering in chat also, can you guys remember, and this is going to go back quite a ways for some of you more so, not necessarily the first flavor that you ever put in your cart at anywhere you ever ordered, the first flavor you ordered, but say like, give or take the first 5, somewhere in that area. What were your first 5 things when you got started into mixing that you think you stuck in a cart?
Strawberry ripe, sweet cream, Capella V1. I think I threw a Bavarian cream in there. Orange, which was Capella Juicy Orange.
Yeah.
And super sweet.
What were you thinking?
Because I wanted a strawberry. So I wanted, and I'd watched DIY Dye saying you need strawberry ripe and sweet strawberry, to make a strawberry up. So I'd got them. And then I wanted some clone that's Yorkshire Vapors orange custard.
Oh, okay.
So I bought Capella V1, I bought some sweet cream, because I'd watched, shows that said, put some sweet cream in to make your custard creamier and Bavarian creams to thicken it up a bit. And then I bought some, I think I'm sure it was juicy orange. Yeah. And it wasn't that orange. Do you know what I mean? And that because that's what I was going for was Yorkshire Vapors.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because basically when you first started buying your flavors, basically what was in your head was what you were vaping. If you were vaping commercial juice, that was the first thing you were thinking. I'm trying to make something that tastes like this.
Yes.
So generally your first orders are going to come off of whatever it was you were liking before you started.
They wasn't my first juices that I bought, because I bought some fucking, what I've showed you, them really dodgy flavours that were from a flavour company, and if I'd used them, that'd put me off for fucking life, mate. But do you know what I mean? And I bought them for the simple reason I wanted a custard, and I didn't know how to make a custard, and it said vanilla custard, so I was like, vanilla custard. I bought the vanilla custard. I bought a strawberry. I bought a banana, because I thought at that time was that you just put banana in, and it says banana milkshake on it. I'll just do a banana, and it'll taste like a fucking banana milkshake. No, it don't.
Well, I bought a strawberry and a banana thinking I'll come up with a strawberry banana, and then, voila, I'll have this. And then it was one of those.
I've brought up my first.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Zippy says banana, chocolate, coffee, orange, and ice cream.
Liam, when I read them out, rate these flavors. This was my first ever order. Lime cold pressed by FA.
Good.
Orange by FA.
Yeah, that's a good orange.
Vanilla custard V2. Caramel original DX. I was meringue flavor art. Butterscotch DX. Sweetener sour by Flavor West. And here's the stinker: condensed milk by FA. Energy drink by Flavor Apprentice, and Vape Wizard, because I was going to mess up somewhere and just pour that into it.
They're not. That's not a bad.
I don't know what I was
They're
thinking.
not bad.
The
They're not bad
DXs,
flavors.
you made
Benny,
the
you're
mistake
gonna
of
love it.
getting
My
My first
DX.
order was my first official order because I started mixing because I got the Flavora bakery packs sent to me from won a giveaway.
Mm.
But then my first order was a cult order, nonetheless.
It's a cult.
But blackberry, blackcurrant, blueberry, coconut, fig, guava, huckleberry, lemon, pineapple, and sweet. I was thinking summertime vapes.
Yeah.
Definitely thinking summertime.
Hey, up me duck said I put 180 flavors in my cart on my first concentrate order.
He, do you know what? He did it on here.
Yeah.
He did it on here. He first with one of the first shows we did. Do you remember when we're all together? He put it in and he says, "I've just ordered 180 flavors." Like, fucking hell, you've got balls deep.
And my first ever Bull City flavor, I blame Zippy for a lot of it, and Liam a little.
Zippy, yeah.
It's all like candies and raspberries and the Sugarloaf pineapple. That's when I got that first order, and it's like, yeah, you guys got me hooked on a couple. Of those.
I can't really remember my first order. I used to order from the first ones were one shots.
Yeah.
That's how I started off, and then I noticed that they actually sold individual flavors. But I can't remember. I'm pretty sure one of my very first ones was the OSDIY Tennessee whiskey, and OSDIY. I think it was chocolate yum cake.
Cloud chocolate, you on it, mate?
Oh yeah, and I was
Yeah,
definitely
buddy.
searching for an orange during that too. I wanted a nice orange cream. That was the other thing I was searching for in that first order.
See, I made the mistake of I bought a kit to start out with because I was watching and I was listening to people on Facebook and they're like, well, you're going to need, you're going to need bottles, you're going to need scales, you're going to need VG, you're going to need PG, you're going to need all this stuff. And so I went on and I'm like, where's the best kit? And they're like, Liquid Barn. So I go to Liquid Barn and I get Liquid Barn strawberry, Liquid Barn apple, Liquid Barn banana, Liquid Barn orange, Liquid Barn. So I get about 10 different, which comes in the thing. Whenever you buy the kit, they give you 10 flavors. So I picked 10 out. They were all fruits. I didn't have anything to mix them with. They were all just fruits.
No, that's a mistake. Easily. Or you could be like Benny, though. You could always get a miscellaneous box. That's a great way to start.
Yeah. Hip-Hop says that Naked Fish was honeydew sweet fruit.
If you like a good beef tobacco, that's a great way to start.
Yeah. If you like to, just get a random. Just say you want
beef
random
tobacco
ones.
Yam mix.
Yeah.
With a little.
Yeah.
See, I'm wondering if that sweet fruit is literally Capella sweet, whatever fruit.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Because Naked Fish is American, isn't it? Is Naked Fish an American
I'm not sure.
brand?
Most of the fish over here aren't clothed. No.
I mean, if I catch some trout and I leave them out in the sun too long, they get stinky. Is that work?
Take Me to the Sea says he got the LB kit. Great deal. He's also saying that he's heard that Mollenberry is going to be released under SSA.
Haven't heard anything.
That would kind of make sense. But things got a little slow there with them.
Yeah, that's what he says. I learned that Mollenberry products will be coming out under the SSA label in the next few weeks or months.
It wouldn't be surprising.
No.
Are they the same company then? Are they the same?
Yeah, SSA and Mollenberry are the same company as far as I know.
Zippy is saying that wasn't her, by the way, Tim. She's saying that must have been her clone that did.
Your clone, the shisha strawberry, raspberries and stuff. That was some other clone. Yeah, it wasn't her.
I thought the original
There's like
thing.
7 raspberries in that cart, and there's only one way that happened.
Yeah, I thought the original thinking with the SSA line was it was supposed to be along the lines of like the FA Kitchen.
Yeah.
Like the FA Kitchen brand. So
a lot of them are all TTP compliant.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really feel like a kitchen range.
No, I think that I thought that was the original thinking. Was it was supposed to be like a spin-off brand, like the FA Kitchen line is spin-off, but geared more towards vapors as opposed to cooking.
Mm.
Yeah.
But they come in really cheap as well. £1 for a 10 ml bottle. That's fantastic for.
Yeah.
kind of what you get. You're going to get similar Innerwear and similar Mullenberry in the SSA range. Like the raspberry syrup is basically Innerwear's raspberry Melina, is it?
Yeah, I think they use some Cheminolactic in there as well.
Mike Haynes earlier said he wants a blackberry jam, a bit like Rochford Project strawberry jam, Crimson Seed.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I don't know how you get that, because I don't know how he's done it with the strawberry jam, but it is like a jam. It's like eating a jam tart. Is that one? That Crimson Seed. It's one of the best strawberry mixes I've tasted.
With the blackberry jam, you might get away with using one of the flavors more.
Yeah.
With the one-on-one strawberry jam, but use that low so you just get that that jammy feeling instead of the actual strawberry coming through. And then a little bit of blackcurrant.
I say around about 1% for the strawberry jam. Wouldn't go any higher. You'll get that. It'll just jam everything up, and the other flavors should hide the strawberry. Well, I can't tell if it hides the strawberry.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I won't be able to tell if it hides the strawberry or not.
It's got strawberry jam 1.75 in it.
There's some classic Belgian waffle Mullenberry there. So it's not 100% true.
You see, for me, the strawberry jam goes vape train strawberry jam, and then one-on-one strawberry jam. Because that one-on-one strawberry jam, while it was good, to me, tasted as if they hadn't quite stirred the sugar in and reduced it enough when you're making a jam.
And I got the WW version too. So
WC can have. We've got 2 bottles of Belgian waffle for you. We're selling that quite reasonably priced if you want to buy it. Because he's saying he spoke to Bill Selly and apparently you can't get it anymore.
You know, I mean, it can be had for a price. Take me to the sea. I mean, that's all I want to say. You know,
well, SSA has just released a butter waffle.
Yeah, and I know it's a cult flavor, but I will say Swaggy's waffle is very close to Mullenberry without it doesn't even need to steep. Those difference. The Belgian waffle is very close.
How does he extract the flavor?
I was trying to figure out how he did that too, but it is an extraction. I asked him.
We get the waffle maker out, makes the waffle, and then he sticks like a needle in it, and then just sucks out.
No, he soaks it in PG, and then after a week, he takes the waffle out, just rings
it out. Yeah. Cloud Kazane, any suggestions on a new 25mm RTA? Anybody? New 25mm RTA that has good flavour. Well, Albert's 28, isn't it? Is Albert 28? So that'd be
RTA. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants an RTA.
25mm RTA. I mean, yeah, you're looking the Arbiter too, but I don't necessarily. I wouldn't.
It's not that good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You want to go a bit bigger? I'd get the Arbiter, definitely.
Yeah.
The Fat Rabbit's got really nice flavour. Just
I heard it
right. You just got
you can lick it off your hand. It tastes fantastic.
That flavor is so good.
It's just like, damn, this
is how you vape with that rabbit. That's good.
There's a few coming out. There's a few new RTAs that I haven't tried yet that are coming out now. That seems to be all right. So you might want to have a look at the newer ones. I didn't mind the Swamp Thing saying M25, yeah, M25. Try that. That will go cheap.
Now the Dead Rabbit V2 was a good 25mm RTA. I've got a couple of these. They're good. Yeah.
I didn't mind the Zeus X. That was all right. Zeus X were quite a nice flavor.
Zeus X, I ended up with trouble with, and then I talked to Des, and at the time I was having my trouble, and Des said he had a similar thing. It shorted out. It wouldn't find it, and so he ended up getting another one, and then had it for a while, and it started doing the same thing. And basically, it was like, I don't know, it was one of those deals where people were like, well, make sure there's not like a little speck, maybe a shaving of metal in there or whatever. And I cleaned it. I blew it out. I did all kinds of shit to it. You put it on and it just wouldn't read it. And Des said he had the same shit. He did like 2 or 3 of them.
Right.
And they did exactly the same thing to him. And then I got started talking to other people, and other people had the same problem with it. And so I never ordered another Zeus X. Once my first one died, I just, had a funeral.
I
and
like
went
the
on.
Creed. I keep on going back to the Creed.
Yeah, the Creed's good.
They're up really cheaply. And the
Yeah.
they're cheap. They're both good tanks.
So try some more, like try the Creek, 'cause like you say, you can get that really cheap now, can't you?
Yeah, and I don't know whether or not the Dead Rabbit V2 is, still around and fairly inexpensive or not, but it's
Yeah, I think I've seen them for about 15 quid.
it's a really good tank.
It also depends on your preference on how restricted you want everything. What
Yes.
tank? When you say a tank, I mean
I
that
like
can be
everything
from
that'll open up.
Nevermore
and-
restricted long, or like the Type 2 or something, all the way up to a Cloud Chaser. Really hard to narrow it down by just saying a tank.
Yeah, like I say, Cupid design, you can go wrong with that. Everybody swears that M25 is a good one.
Yeah, but you're probably not going to get that for 15 quid.
No, it's about 49. I think I've seen it cheapest. I've seen it about 36 in a sale.
That's the same with that Nevermore. Then that didn't go like hotcakes because it's a mouthful long, really good, but was like $90 US to buy it. So.
It's one thing saying it is 1-on-1 Bavarian cream any good. I got sent 10 mil of it.
I've never tried it.
Yeah, Dez is in there now. He said he ordered a third one and it did the same thing. Eventually shorted out too. Yeah.
Probably, most likely it's the insulator.
Yeah.
The insulators in them. I've had that with different tanks where the insulator goes. It's easily cracked, like it gets over tight and too loose, or that screw gets dirty in the bottom.
Have you tried 1-on-1's Bavarian cream, Liam? No, I think I've got it somewhere. It was all. I think I've got it. I think I have got Bavarian cream 1-on-1. I think because when I went for a 1-on-1 thing, it was all right. But I think I preferred the normal Bavarian cream with Capella.
TPA.
Yeah, TPA. Sorry, TPA. Yeah.
I use Jungle Flavors Bavarian cream. I think that's the one I use all the time when I need it. I just put a recipe in.
Paul B, yeah.
Yeah, I've just put the recipe in for banana waffle from Take Me to.
Do you want to bring it up? Let's have a look. Des, you all right, buddy? So Paul B, yeah, I do MTL.
He's got two waffles. He's got, this is the one he was talking about at the beginning, towards the beginning of the show. So he's got a lot of those flavors.
That's the one. Okay.
Liam, do you want to take us through the flavors? I don't know a lot of those.
Who? Me?
I'm just
Liam.
looking through now just to make sure. Yeah, the TFA banana nut bread, 2%. It's a really really nice banana nut bread. I used to vape that solo 10% on its own. The TFA bananas Foster I'm not that familiar with. I've been playing around with it. It's a really nice banana taste.
Gotta be good. It's got a triangle
with a little bit of caramel in there. So
I thought it tasted it's a little bit ice creamy. Is that banana Foster? Like a little bit creamier than.
Yeah, there's a little bit of caramel in there. I can't remember if I tasted any creaminess to it.
She. Sorry.
Yeah, the banana Foster and the banana nut bread give you the main banana note in this. The bakery from the nut bread would enhance the classic Belgian waffle and the WW waffle from Mollenberry. Classic Belgian waffle is a fantastic waffle, really good, and it's a shame if you're not going to be able to get that again, because that's 3 or 4 recipes I'm working on that I'm going to have to scrap now as well. Mollenberry Bounty is, I believe that was actually released as like a one-shot. It's a really nice chocolate with that caramel, that coconut in there. It didn't really actually hit the Bounty profile fully for me, but I can see where it will work really well in this to inject a little bit of chocolate, which would work really well with the banana. Hazelnut DX I'm not familiar with. TFA Rice crunchies at 1% would actually give you that little bit of AP, which again would enhance the waffles. And SSA whipped cream is really nice whipped cream that sort of floats on top of a mix. And at 1%, it would just be there to give you that little bit of whipped cream on top. It looks like a really, really nice, well thought out recipe.
Yeah, she's just saying that it is Foster's is ice cream. I thought it was Foster. I thought it tasted like an ice cream to me, like banana ice cream sort of taste to it. Let's see. My case is get Tiki John's Rum Runner by it as well, if you can find that. It's supposed to be really good. She says, can she buy some out of your trunk? Have you got some Belgian waffle that you can buy?
Yeah,
I've got this raincoat. Hey, you want to buy some?
Want to buy some Belgian waffle?
Bill's going to show up on next week and go, what do you want? Unfortunately, though, because he's not going to have room for clothes under there, we're going to get a shit.
Then on the other side, I have watches.
All the time.
You want some flavorings? Going cheap.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah, meet you at the parking lot behind the
This is
closed down restaurant that's over.
Yeah.
Tiki John's Rum Runner.
Under the overpass.
I like the name.
I haven't got those flavors. Liam, off you go.
So 4.25% banana cream from TFA, 4% Flavor West Blackberry. That's also shown as Blackberry Natural, I believe, in some places.
Well, what's that like? Because I was messing around with Blackberry today.
It's a really good Blackberry.
It's natural.
Yes, it hasn't actually got that perfumey off note that you get from the TFA one. It's a lot more forgiving as well because it's a little bit weaker. It's an excellent Blackberry flavour, pretty authentic. My favourite ones at the moment for Blackberry are the one flavour is Mora, followed by the Flavor West Blackberry, and then the TFA Blackberry. 0.6%, 1% Vape Train Fizzy Sherbet, 0.6% Flavora Lime, 2% Persian Lime from Vape Train, 1.25% FA Pomegranate, 1.5% Jamaican Special Rum, and 1.35% Super Sweet. Looks like
you had me there. I was thinking about making this. And then I hit the last 3 flavorings before the sweetener. I was like, I don't have any of those.
I'll put that in chat now.
Yeah. And I'm not familiar with the FA pomegranate, but I'm sure I've seen people using that before because it's got a slight tartness to it. Which is supposed to work really well.
We know she's going to release a novel sometime.
Yeah. Definitely involved there with if you want to know the flavour notes and that. It's really good.
It's good to see flavour notes like that, especially especially putting revisions and things like that in there as well.
Yeah, and saying where it's been inspired from. You know, where she got their inspiration from. Rockatuna says, still missing the pomegranate for that one. What does pomegranate do? Because pomegranate is a strange flavour. I like pomegranate. I don't like... Thing is, I like pomegranate, picking them out with a pin, but I don't like the juice. It's fucking awful.
Yeah, it is different. Pomegranate juice is never... It doesn't get the dark notes of the pomegranates, like the seeds.
The seeds, yeah. I love the seeds.
It doesn't get it. It doesn't give you the same... I haven't ever had a juice. I don't know about vape flavor, but a real juice that ever tasted. Really
I've seen people using the FA in mixes to inject a little bit of tartness into fruits.
You're saying that pomegranate is a grenadine?
Ah, right, okay.
Just use it for the grenadine sort of mix to it.
There we go. I'll put Take Me to the Seas ELR in there if you want to go and give her a follow.
David Lloyd said, every time I watch a mixing show, my ELR shopping list expands.
Same thing. We do it here in this show.
My advice to you is, Dave, stop watching. It's what I did.
And then joined the show, and now he, yeah.
Yeah, if you're going down that rabbit hole, mate, yeah. And that's another thing. That's how you end up with a loader. When someone says it's a really good flavour, you think, I'll try that.
Yeah.
And sometimes, because I got it when Jungle Flavours that brought out their VG line? Were Jungle Flavours the first one that brought out a total VG line? And
No, one-on-one.
Was it one-on-one?
One-on-one had a whole VG line.
Yeah, just
real flavors have one as well.
No, that's it. Real
VG
Flavours.
line.
That's the one. Real Flavours. Go buy them. They're the best thing ever. And I got no shit.
Yeah, well, the other
Like
thing
any
is,
of them.
anybody that, when the flavor companies now come out with a new 10 new flavors or whatever, then everybody rants and raves about them for a while. And you get like, oh, this stuff's the best. This is better than so-and-so. Even this is, so you go buy those. And then 2 weeks later, nobody's talking about those flavors.
That actually has happened recently. Yeah. I've seen people raving about these flavors, and then 2 weeks later, it was literally 2 weeks later. Like, yeah, it's all right, but I don't like this part about it.
Yeah, I know. And then it was like, Wonder Flavors released their line recently, and everybody was all, it was like all the hype on them when they first come out is really high, and then it kind of dwindles down, and you find yourself going out and buying this stuff, and then you get it, and then all of a sudden you start getting, well, yeah, it's this, but it can use a whatever. But you do also find some really good stuff in it as well. So it's, you get 3 or 4 out of 10.
I don't tend to ride the hype train too much. I'll wait 2 or 3 months and see what recipes are coming out with those flavors, and see what ones of those flavors people are still using. Yeah. I don't know whether sometimes people are just giving it a first impression. Yeah. And of course, off first impression, it might be absolutely fantastic, and then it drops down after 2 weeks because they're then trying to steep a little bit, and what they liked is
How many of you, when they were using commercial liquids, did the same thing? You try it at the shop. Especially when you have the testers, you try at the shop, you're like, oh, this is really good. You get it home, this is really good. 2 days later, you're like, this is the grossest liquid I've ever bought. Why did I buy this?
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that a few times, to be honest with you.
Cottage cheese. I loved cottage cheese to begin with. I tasted it the other day. It was the SSA cottage cheese.
Yes. Yep.
I loved that when it first came out. Now I taste it and go, oh my God, what was I thinking?
But I remember specific ones, like when I would be watching shows, and I remember one of the things was, Liquid Barn vanilla ice cream was everybody's go-to ice cream, and then it kind of became not everybody's go-to ice cream. But I remember Philadelphia butter cake. It was like, but I'll tell you what, the thing with Philadelphia butter cake, I got a big bottle of that, and it is still good to this day. I still love the shit out of Philadelphia butter cake.
Now, one of the other things that you find is you might find an absolutely fantastic flavor. So, for example, Flavora Brie cheese. People might think I'm odd, but I do like Flavora Brie cheese on its own. It's odd. It's an authentic Brie cheese.
Yeah.
Benny, you like cheese? But we see cheese vape. We don't even go there.
Trying to use that in a mix is almost impossible.
Yeah.
Or the egg yolk.
Egg yolk. Yeah, that didn't work. You're fucking old.
That was but that was Pug's fault. Egg yolk was all Pug's. He's the one that just kept talking egg yolk, egg yolk, egg yolk, egg yolk. That was it. So he's the one that did that crap.
So one thing saying, is there any bargains out there this week? Rainbow Vapes has got quite a lot of their really cheap on their flavours. If you go have a look over at Rainbow Vape.
Flavora's really cheap over there.
Yeah, if you want in them really cheap. Chefs have got quite a lot of their flavours on sale at the moment. Some Wrecker on there, if you want to try some Wrecker. There's some of them.
50p.
Where's that?
Chefs.
Oh, it's Chefs, yeah. I saw some. Is it, what's that Wizard one?
Like Wizard?
Is it Vape Wizard? Something like that. It's got a picture of a wizard with a stick. They have a sale.
Alchemist.
That's it. Yeah, they have a what is it? Quite a lot of sale on quite a lot. They had 20% off of a weekend.
Hang on, I'll just E-Cig 1. not e-cig one.
Egg yolk, no shells.
E-cig shop normally have stuff on sale as well.
What we'll do, next week we'll probably have a look for some, see what
Bargain
sales are
deals.
going on, and we'll bring them up next week and let people have a look, see what we think, see if they're worth getting, and then let you know next week. Point you in the right direction, and I'll have a look around and see who's doing what, and we'll probably do a section on where to find, who's doing some cheap flavourings. So like I said,
And then
rainbow.
the other thing is for next week's show, let's everybody, before we start next week, pull out your 5 favorite flavors you have right now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's
So you got a week. You got a week to think about. It doesn't have to be. It's just the 5 that you're kind of your go-to. Oh, I like. I kind of always. I go this way or I go that way or I always seem to grab this bottle or if I whatever. Just your 5 go-to.
Oh, Rocky already said one for like ice cream.
Well, don't kill this has got to be suspenseful. You can't tell them this week.
Yeah.
They need to tune in.
But that might not be one of his favorites all the time.
Have you brought Rocky's? What is it up?
His
Recipe up his waffle.
Rocky,
Waffle.
he's
what
got
is it up?
Rocky did milk and honey waffles or whatever he called it. I don't know, but it had milk and honey in it. I do know that because he basically, I think it's on VC though, because he said he broke VC because what happened is he didn't use milk and honey in a recipe or something. I don't remember.
He didn't realize that was the lubrication that kept it going. It was all Rocky's fault.
Yeah, we know what yours is, Rocky. Milk and honey, milk and honey.
Wouldn't it be funny if he says top 5 and milk and honey wasn't in them? I don't believe it.
Yeah.
He'd be lying.
He would be lying, wouldn't he? Yeah.
It's like Michelle not having.
Vanilla pudding's not in her list.
Yeah. Well, but the thing about it is, that's good pudding. I'll have to
It
give
is.
him that.
I've been using it. I used it in a couple recipes last couple weeks.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I don't like vanilla pudding.
You know what? That's partially probably because vanilla pudding is more like it's more of a U.S.
I bet Benny doesn't taste. Benny doesn't taste the cream. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No, I don't like the taste of it in a mix.
Yeah, that's un-American, Benny. You're un-American.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
God damn. Where's my flag?
I put little shirts on the pond out there. They wouldn't wear them, so all my fish are naked.
Yeah. God damn it. Where's my gun? Where's my flag?
Right there.
Jimbo.
Right there.
Jimbo.
Right there. Right there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring up Rocky's.
All right.
Oh, honeycomb crumble. I just got some of that.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I've got that. I was using it to.
Cornbread 1-on-1 is on sale at Chef's at the moment.
That's a nice flavour.
Cornbread 1-on-1 is on sale at Chef's.
Works really well with yellow cakes. Tim.
Does it?
Yeah.
I gotta get some of the one-on-one flavors.
Ooh,
They're not as easy to get over here.
I've got that one. I've got 1-on-1 cornbread.
I got the Colt cornbread.
Well, come on, Graham, read it down. We don't have to wait for you. Got these.
No,
flavors.
it's Liam's job. This.
Oh, you signed it to Liam for this week. I see.
So 1% vape train butter base. Really nice butter. 3% of the Molenberry classic Belgian waffle. 1% one-on-one.
Don't use it at
cornbread.
3% if you can't get it anymore. Try it maybe about 1.5. Make it last a bit longer.
No, it's a really nice waffle, but it does need to be.
Replace it with 4% Colt flavor.
0.75% of the honeycomb crumble from SSA. 0.25% milk and honey Flavora. And 1% of SSA peanut butter.
Yeah, you won't be able to get the honeycomb crumble in the UK yet because
Looks like a really nice mix.
Yeah,
It does look like a nice mix.
does. Yeah,
So
that
it's-
honeycomb crumble has I only tasted it this afternoon. It seemed to have a biscuit note in it.
All right, yeah.
So putting it, I thought, well, put it on top of crumble topping to crisp up crumble
Do you get
topping
any
up.
of the honeycomb
Yeah.
taste to it? Right.
Oh,
It's like honeycomb with not honeycomb as in load of honey with in the
Yeah, the cinder toffee.
cinder toffee. It's cinder toffee with like a biscuit behind it.
So you
That's
could have
what
a
I
bit
get
of
on the back
double
of it.
chocolate clear on top of that, and it might taste a bit like a crunchy.
Well, Liam's got a crunchy.
I got a crunchy recipe.
that sounds like a really nice waffle mix, though. It really does.
I would just taste peanut butter. Once you put peanut butter in anything, it just kills everything else in it for me. All I taste is peanut
I
butter.
don't like peanut butter.
I like peanut butter, but I can't. Whenever I try to vape it, it seems like if I put peanut butter in a vape, I can put every other flavor I've got in there at 10%.
He can take his
put
vanilla,
peanut butter
all
at
vanilla mix, and dump
0.25,
in
and
one
all I'll
drop of
taste
peanut
is
butter. That's all he
peanut
tastes peanut butter.
Yeah.
I like butter. I like peanuts, but I don't like peanut butter.
But you gotta do the peanut butter jelly dance now.
I don't even know what it is. But yeah.
Like the Goonies all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. After show will be Goonies related.
Yeah. Right. So we did start a little bit late, but we are coming up to that time to say our goodbyes. So we will start with Liam, so you can show your shit.
Okay. Thanks everybody in chat.
Oh, you're on first place as chefs at the moment. Is Twisted Imagination. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
When you go on, it's on for Twisted Imagination. It's the top one for mixers.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Thank you, Kat. Been excellent as always. It's always good getting all of the comments and taking part in the show. Without you, the show wouldn't be half as good as it is. If anyone wants to chat with me, you can catch me on Monkey on Juice Facebook group, as well as most of the other DIY mixing groups on Facebook. You can hit me up on Sherlock Holmes Mixing on Facebook as well as on Instagram. And you can catch me on this show, of course, every Wednesday. And if you wish to support me, you can go to Chef's Flavors and pick up Twisted Imagination. And if you're in the US or Canada, you can go to DIYFlavorChaser.com and pick up Sherlock Holmes mixes. And I will pass you over to Graham.
Okay, thanks everyone. That's been really fun. Catch us over on Facebook on Monkey on Juice if you need any questions answered. There's me, Liam, or somebody's always there. Nick's there as well, and we can answer your questions. If you're just starting out and you need any help, pop over there, and I'm quite happy to spare an hour in Zoom or just chatting to you on Messenger to help you get started. And I'll pass it over to Tim.
You can find me here on Wednesdays. Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern is a mental health stream on my channel. Yeah, I know. Saturday is a gaming stream at 9 p.m. Eastern. This Friday, I will probably open up Zoom, start a little live so I can put the link out there for everybody. And then I'll probably do some kind of birthday party in Zoom this week. So if anybody's invited who wants to show up. While it streams live, clothes are not optional, but later we'll go whatever. And then Sundays with Zippy and Larry. And then Tuesday on Vaping Truckers channel for Mixers Helping Mixers. And Tuesday nights on Takeover Tuesday on Fresh 3's channel. And that said, Break the Stigma Unity Discord for anyone looking for a place to get any help with maybe stress is getting to them or something. That's a good community for that. That said, I'm going to thank Bill for this lovely snowstorm that he must have sent my way that we're having right now because I greened grass this morning. And I'll pass it to Bill.
Well, thank you. We haven't had any snow in a while, so it couldn't have been me that sent it there. Thanks, chat. Basically enjoyed it as always, and some good points, good suggestions, good things on clones, and just for basically generally putting up with us. You can catch me on Sunday nights on the Late Night Vape Show following NUVS, which is Benny's, and I will throw it to Benny so he can tell you all about it.
Why is Graham finishing the show off?
No.
No,
Have you been?
Graham's already went.
I've been.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even know you'd been. Oh, it's been a long night. Right, so thank you very much, everybody in chat, for joining in and being with us tonight. It's absolutely fantastic. Don't forget to check out Liam's one-shots and everything. There's a list of one-shots that is coming up there. You will find them in there. Go check out everybody else's lines. Obviously, go check out Amatorium and get your e-liquids there. And also check out Nick's Juice and try them as well. Also, you can find Tim on plethora of shows. There's links coming up in the chat. There's different links coming up. If you look back, if you do want the links for there, you can click on that. Bill, thank you very much for joining us. Graham, thank you very much for joining us. Liam, thank you very much. And Tim, thank you very much for joining us. You will see us again next week. We will have a look around for a couple of bargains. We will have a look at think about what else we're going to do with the 5 flavours. If you want to bring up your 5 flavours that you go to all the time, that would be fantastic in chat. It gives us something to talk about, and we can see what people are sort of looking at there. So we will see you next week, same time, same channel. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks all. Bye.